Had a little bit of a power surge, knocked our stream off, but we got it back online, and so I apologize for that. Live stream is back up and running, but we got a new severe thunderstorm warning that's considerable in southwest Missouri. We don't have your alert hits,
I do have it.
you?
I do have
Oh,
it. I do have it.
on
It's
that
the-
one. Put
yeah,
them
it's
on all
the-
of them, though.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and put them on all of them.
New severe thunderstorm warning.
All right. Well, busy one for sure. No doubt about that. Let's kind of take people through all of the individual storms. We'll do the individual tracks. We'll also take a look at all the hail cores on Mega Doppler. That storm now has moved through the Springdale, Arkansas Children's Northwest camera.
So this other storm that has a severe thunderstorm warning, that is located in eastern Berry and McDonald County, and that has golf ball sized hail associated with it. And it's moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. So let's do a little storm track on that one too. Looks like the most dangerous part of the storm is actually just east of Cassville right now. So I'm going to put that into motion here. Again, this is going to be moving out of our weather coverage area relatively quickly. I jog that up a little bit farther to the north. Are we even on right now?
No, it's not connecting on my Facebook because you're on the wrong. We're on a different profile.
So you're going to have to go.
Yeah.
Have to close mine out.
I know. Yeah. Okay, we'll just keep talking.
Yeah.
We're on for now.
Yeah,
Let me
we're
just
on.
fix this behind the scenes.
Yep. Okay, so here's the new storm track. This storm moving off to the north and east at 45 miles per hour. So Ridgely at 10:57 a.m. It's right on top of you right now. Butterfield at 11:12 a.m. Purdy at 11:17. Pleasant Ridge at 11:34, which is still in our weather coverage area. And then it moves just out of our coverage area right around 11:45 a.m. It's going to be moving towards the Aurora area at 11:47. So that storm, again, moving off to the north and east. And the most dangerous part of that cell is on the west side of the storm, which is why we had that storm track located right there near the Ridgely area. The other cell, guys, has dropped its considerable tag on the new severe thunderstorm warning. So that's a good sign right there. Let's see. We got that new severe thunderstorm warning that's for Washington, Benton, Carroll, and Madison counties. That's for quarter-size hail. Bless you. Yes. And that cell is now moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. So as Leslie was mentioning earlier, that cell's starting to jog off to the north and east. So one thing I've noticed now, guys, is that severe thunderstorm warning is actually associated with a separate supercell. So it's not associated with the one that's producing the largest hail right now.
Right over us.
Yep.
How large is that? Oh,
Quarter
wow.
sized.
Getting bigger though.
Getting bigger, yep. That one's moving northeast at 50 miles per hour.
That's on the south side of Fayetteville. We're talking over 2 inches now.
Yep.
So this might be getting a considerable tag as well. Let's take the Graduate Hotel and point it straight south.
And the most dangerous part of the storm is the south side of Fayetteville. So we're going to move that storm track northeast. So real quick, here's your storm track for that southern cell. So moving just south of Fayetteville, going to be moving towards Goshen, Hinesville, Huntsville between 11:06 to 11:22, Alabama at 11:27, and Berryville at 11:42 a.m. We're going to get this camera pulled up in just a minute too here so you guys can see that. Which one do you got, Leslie? I can pull it up. Graduate Hotel, okay. So let's look at that Graduate Hotel camera. Let me pull that up here. Yep, look at that. Puking rain right now. Also kind of notice like a white kind of glow off in the distance too. That might be the hail core. Yep.
It's the hail core.
It's the hail core.
South side of Fayetteville is getting hail.
And it looks like
in
it's
fact,
getting
we're
bigger.
probably going to start to hear it at our. There it is. You can hear it outside.
Oh, it's hailing right on the camera too.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep. Here, I'll go outside and I'll get a live stream going. Yep.
So Dan's about to go outside. He's going to get a live view on this as it's moving through. It's a pretty big hail core too, guys. So it's getting bigger.
It's on the south side of Fayetteville, though. South side of Fayetteville.
Yep. Yeah, and then we also we still got that other cell too. That's east of Lowell. So you've got really 3 big hail cores moving through our weather coverage area now. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Look at the hail in the Graduate Hotel cam.
Yeah, usually you can see Mount Sequoia, like you can see the
Yeah.
you can't see a thing.
It's gone now. Man. That's ramped up big time.
Meter 1 for our River Valley viewers, the warning that the National Weather Service
It makes sense. Yeah, now it might actually come to fruition. Unfortunately, because the upper level support's there. 3-inch hail report in Cave Springs. This hail is trying to ramp up still in Fayetteville. That's a great camera view. Now, I think you guys would probably agree with this, but even though we're getting the big hail, right, in northwest Arkansas right now, and we're getting gusty winds, I think the tornado threat has dropped off just a bit for northwest Arkansas. I have doubts that the warm front's going to get any farther north at this point. Yeah, it's just going to be really hard for these cells to make it any farther north. Great camera view. We can't see anything. Yeah, you can. It's right there. Auto body guys are going to be making some money off this hail, especially the ones in Cave Springs, that 3-inch hail. Well, yeah, it's foggy because of the rain and the hail as well. The hail can actually create like fog along the ground. So that's why it's giving it that foggy appearance. Let's see here. Power flicker and lull. So one thing we can keep an eye on too, guys, is the power outage situation. Let's go back to Megadoppler real quick, Dan. Just real quick here.
My it's not going on my Facebook page. Yeah,
What in the
seriously.
world? A 3.56-inch hail estimated by radar. We might need to go on air.
Yeah, let's go on air.
Yeah, we need to go on air.
That's giant.
That's destructive. I'm going to tell Charles. Charles, we're about to go wall to wall. Right here. Yep.
We'll see if it stays that long, but I think it will.
All right, guys. So everybody's getting ready in the background.
Yes,
here. I know
everybody.
it's
Everybody just get
kinda
mic'd up
chaotic,
just in
but
case.
That's just what happens when things ramp up like this. So again, this
Here,
is the storm
4. I'll
right
take 4.
here that's potentially about to get destructive just off to the
putting them
north and
in.
east of Greenland. So you see that there on Megadoppler, and Dan and Leslie and Davey are all getting ready. We're about to go on air wall to wall here. So again, this is the storm that's the most concerning one right now. It's moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. So you saw that storm track that we had earlier. This is going to be the most dangerous storm as we move throughout the next 30 minutes or so. So I'm going to get this ready here.
I can't.
Wow.
There's nothing I can do about getting that on there. It's not going on there.
Even with you being on your source.
Yeah. But I'm not going to worry about that.
That's-
It's
yeah.
just like you can't deal with that right now.
Yep. All right. Is Lowell okay now? Yep. All clear in Lowell. The most dangerous storm right now is going to be in central Washington County, just off to the south of Fayetteville and northeast of Greenland, which is why we're about to go wall to wall right here. We're
Just
about to
go
be on
ahead and
air.
I'll jump in there
Yep.
afterwards.
Yep. Well, you want me to go ahead?
Yeah,
Get on there?
just we got to get on
Okay.
as fast as possible.
All right. Let's go ahead, Charlie. Let's get on. I can hear you. Yes, sir.
Is that really that big? That seems really large.
It seems large. Probably is a little bit.
It's a little overdone, but it's
Overdone.
still big. Look at some of these reports. We've had 3 inches in Cave Springs. We had
I'm
2
ready. We're ready.
inches in Hennig. Yeah, we need to go on.
They're all getting ready in the background. They'll be ready.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go on here right now, though. We'll go from there.
Yeah, we need them. You can bring them up too through that.
Hi, everyone. Meteorologist Josh Harder here with the latest details on a potentially destructive severe thunderstorm that is starting to move through Washington County right now. There's a look at that severe thunderstorm warning that is currently in effect, and got some folks behind the scene right now working as well to give you all the latest updates. But we got several severe thunderstorm warnings that are currently in effect for portions of northwest Arkansas. The most dangerous one right now, in my opinion, is this one that is moving just off to the east of Fayetteville now. This has a severe thunderstorm warning attached with a considerable tag for 1.75 inch hail, which is golf ball sized hail. We've already seen reports of 2 to 3 inch hail stones near Cave Springs and Elm Springs just a few moments ago, a little bit farther to the north and west of the cell. But this one right here appears to be ramping up just a little bit as it starts to lift off to the north and east at about 55 miles per hour. And again, this includes portions of Benton, Carroll, Madison, and Washington County. That's going to be very close to the Greenland area. It looks like now the main hail core is lifted just off to the north and east of Greenland. But if you live near Baldwin or potentially in the Harris area as well, got to make sure we're staying weather aware on this front because this storm is really starting to ramp up in those locations. Do we have maybe Megadoppler pulled up on Weather 2 here? If we could pull up Weather 2, we could take a look at Howell Heating Cooling Megadoppler. So I know we've got Charles behind the scene here. So this is a look at maximum expected hail size, right? This is just a radar estimate. Now, Dan and I were just talking about this a few moments ago. We also have meteorologist Davion Huggins and Leslie Castro behind the scenes too. We were just talking about this storm here. This radar estimate might be a little bit too big, but we know that these storms have a history of producing destructive hail. We've already seen those 2 to 3 inch hail reports in portions of Elm Springs, as I just mentioned a few moments ago. But now there's a look at the Gratiot Hotel camera, and you can see that rising motion there off in the distance. Yeah. So that's starting to ramp up a little bit right now, guys. And I know Davion and Leslie, you're behind the scenes as well. What are you kind of seeing with the storm here on radar?
Yes.
Wow, that is really, look at that rising motion into the storm. And that shows you that hail core continues to intensify. So yeah, this is 11:04 in the late morning. And this storm, we've already had a history of hailstones 2 to 3 inches in diameter. This is one of them right now, just to the east of Baldwin. And even though it's showing over 3 inches, I think that is actually happening right now, pretty close to 3 inches. This is right over I'm going to zoom way in. We're going to get hyper local here. Stonebridge Meadows, my old stomping grounds, exactly where I live. I know that area. And then to the east of there, you got several other subdivisions, Sequoia Meadows and Quarry Trace. Large hail falling right now on Highway 16. This is a little northwest of Harris and Harris Community Road. And now that hail core has dropped down a little bit in size, but we're looking at over 3 inches in diameter. And there's not only just this storm, there's additional storms. This is a little bit of a smaller hail core, that's developed east of Bethel Heights. And there's another hail core too on the north side of Berry County. But this is the most dangerous storm now that has a considerable severe thunderstorm warning tag too as well, Josh.
Yeah, absolutely. And you were just mentioning too about the radar estimate. Remember, we had that storm that moved earlier near Elm Springs. I was mentioning before you saw those hail reports just a few moments ago. The hail core estimate from the radar was around 2 inches. We ended up seeing about 2 to 3 inch hailstones. So I'm with you, Dan. I buy that this is actually dumping very large hail right now northwest of Elkins. Now, good news is maybe it's starting to drop off just a little bit. That's a sign that maybe it's dumping its hail core right now, but still a very dangerous storm. You do not want to be caught out in this right now. Frequent lightning as well being observed. Here's the good news, folks. I know we're getting a lot of questions about this on our Facebook Live and on X as well as 479 First about the tornado potential right now in northwest Arkansas. Thankfully, these storms are quite elevated right now. That's because we don't have those low-level winds in place. We also don't have that surface-based instability, but look at this storm, though. I mean, if we did have surface-based instability, guys, I mean, this would really be a dangerous storm. But there's that rising motion right there. That's a telltale sign that we've got a tremendous amount of upper-level support. But there's storm relative velocity. I appreciate that. Davion and Leslie showing that. Again, maybe some broad areas of rotation here or there as cells start to interact with each other. There's a lot of cells that are very close to each other right now, but not anticipating this to ramp up anytime soon in northwest Arkansas just because not all the ingredients are in place right now for tornadoes. But still, very large hail, as we just mentioned a few moments ago. Let's go back there and take a look at it. So there it is right there. again, just off to the southeast of Fayetteville. Now, if you don't mind, guys, let's also look at some other storms. And here we go. Let's look at this.
Before we go to
yeah.
that, go to the Max 1 real quick, and I've got a track on this to let people know exactly where this is headed. We got 2 new severe thunderstorm warnings. We'll look at that on Max 2 here in just a second.
Yeah.
But Max 1 showing that severe thunderstorm warning. The other one is, by the way, for northeast sections of Berry County and southwest Missouri, an extension of that warning. But there's a look at the track of that storm. Huntsville coming in at 11:25. Alabama 11:32.
New considerable severe thunderstorm warning.
Noon, and Dean about 1/4 to noon. So that's the track of that storm. We also have our Huntsville Weather Bug Network camera that might be able to get a view of that base. But right now, totally shrouded in rain. But this is a very large hail core. And another thing too is while I'm in the middle of this, I'm going to get on Mega Doppler here. I want to look at this storm in 3 dimensions like we did the other day. To see if there's any type of hail core that's growing in the storm, or if it's in fact dumping its hail core right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that'd be a great look right there. But as Dan just mentioned, there's that considerable severe thunderstorm warning. He just put that track on that one. Davion and Leslie, if you don't mind, maybe sliding up Weather 1 just a little bit here so we can look at that severe thunderstorm warning that's also in effect, because I want to see what the new severe thunderstorm warning entails, because we're starting to see several new ones be issued. So look at this. So if you go back just a little bit to the west here, look at this. Observed severe thunderstorm warning. Now the hours right now are a little bit messed up, but look at that. Observed hail size of 2.5 inches with that storm right there. Now, if we go back a little bit farther to the east, as you guys just did there, there's a new severe thunderstorm warning that still has that considerable tag attached to it. That one's a little bit farther to the north. That includes Benton, Carroll, Madison, and Washington counties. That's for golf ball sized hail right there. And then we go back a little bit farther to the south again on that severe thunderstorm warning. Again, this is considerable with 2.5-inch hailstones right now. So definitely big time hail that's going on across a large part of northwest Arkansas in multiple different locations. And we want to make sure we're keeping an eye on all of those storms that are moving through the area. So Dan, looks like you've got that pulled up right now on Weather 2.
Yeah, I do, Josh, on Weather 2. So this is a look at the hail core that was suspended aloft. We're talking over 2 inches in diameter, typically tennis balls. Wouldn't be surprised if 2.5 to 2 3/4 inch hailstones falling. And then look at that. That's a large hail core that is dropping. So it is literally right now in the process of dropping its giant hail core. And there you can see that storm moving off to the east, which is why the hail has decreased in size, because the updraft suspended that hail aloft, and now it's starting to fall basically on the east side of Fayetteville, right off of Highway 16, Stonebridge Meadows, just east of Stonebridge Meadows.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we go back to Mega Doppler here, we can get hyper-local as Dan did just a few moments ago. So let's zoom in right there where that hail core is. So just off to the north of Tuttle right now, south of Goshen. There's the hail core right there, as Dan just mentioned, starting to dump all that large hail into the ground again, around tennis ball sized hail there just off to the north and west of Tuttle. That's moving off to the north and east right now at 50 miles per hour. So this storm right here, taking a little bit of a different motion than the other storms that are farther north that are moving straight east. But as Dan just mentioned, very dangerous storm. You don't want to be caught out in this right here. Again, folks, if you're seeing anything where you're located and you're in a safe place, make sure you send in those photos and videos as well. We've already been getting some great reports from a lot of these storms that are moving through northwest Arkansas. But
Yeah,
again,
Josh,
this is moving off to northeast.
We're getting some pictures coming in through our weather Slack from Tulsa. They're sending in a hailstone from Springdale earlier, and it's about 3 inches in diameter. It's certainly it's been an active morning with some of these elevated supercells.
We've got some of them too that we can show as well through our source. And just let you know, you can see the QR code on your screen. Scan that, and you can submit those photos. In fact, let's go ahead on Weather 2. I'm going to bring this up on our computer. So here's some of the photos that you have loaded, Aleshli, from Julie Smith. Some pretty impressive hailstorm that moved through the Elm Springs area. This is just one of the first of many hailstones that fell across the area. So hail is the most damaging potential with these storms. No tornado threat, because we are, in fact, a little bit north of the warm front. However, River Valley, folks, heads up. It's a sign of what these storms can do, the type of environment. It's very volatile, and we'll continue to see that potential in the River Valley, especially throughout the day today. And we'll go through that tornado watch, too. That's been issued. Look at these hailstones.
It's incredible. Yeah.
Those are giant.
Reminds me of that system that came through last year, Dan.
Yeah.
Remember that? We had those elevated thunderstorms that moved through northwest Arkansas and dropped pretty large hail.
And it reminds me of May 4th, 2020, almost
Yes.
around the exact same time, too, about 10 to 11 o'clock in the morning, upper level system moving through, clipping the area, multiple storms popping up. So here's a look at the watches and warnings. You can see that tornado watch that's in effect for the River Valley. That's where the warmth and humidity is. We've been going through that, and Josh, you've been doing a great job of that on the live stream. A little bit farther north, you got the severe thunderstorm watch, and that's obviously for hail and damaging winds, the primary threats.
And here's the thing, too, that I mentioned earlier on the live stream. I haven't got the chance to mention it on air. Pretty much if you live along and north of the Bobby Hopper Tunnel, I feel like, Dan, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think it's going to be a struggle now for the warm front to get any farther than the Bobby Hopper Tunnel. And you can actually see that visually right here with the instability, right? So notice how the instability is a little bit lower for portions of northwest Arkansas. That's because we have all these storms that are moving off to the north and east. And even though things are winding down out west, we still have additional cells that are developing along with some anvil seeding that's going on as well. So we got a tremendous amount of cloud cover in northwest Arkansas. That makes it a struggle for those warm fronts to live to the north. But if you live along and south of Interstate 40, I know things are quiet right now, but the instability is certainly in place for these areas, and we will have to watch things very closely. And look at that, maybe some clearing going on just a few moments ago there in southern portions of the River Valley. Looks like there might be some clearing going on here as well along Interstate 35. So I know we're focused on northwest Arkansas right now and the storms that are going on, and obviously those are causing some impacts with large hail. But if you live in the River Valley, especially along and south of Interstate 40, got to make sure we're staying weather aware for later on this afternoon into the early evening hours.
All right, let's go back to Mega Doppler here real quick. We'll take a look at this hail core, and there it is, located just to the south of Goshen, on the east side of Washington County. This is a considerable severe thunderstorm warning, but you already saw the hail core. It was dropping across the area, and it was suspended. When it was in South Fayetteville, that hail core was suspended aloft, and large hail. And then finally, the hail core has dumped and dropped in eastern sections of Fayetteville. I think the Stonebridge Meadow subdivision got some large hail, as well as areas to the east of that on Highway 16. Thankfully, Elkins, if we zoom out just a little bit, it's going to be a little south of the largest hail. But we have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings that are considerable. All of them are in northwest Arkansas. It looks like that hail core is a little smaller. Posey Mountain would have an amazing view of that cell, so we could bring that up and point that camera south. But all those reports, Josh, you see on the screen here, we got 3 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches. So if you have a hail report, go ahead and send them to us. You hover over it, you can see around Cave Springs, and I got that photo. Yeah, large hail. And I haven't been able, we've been getting that on Slack, and we've got to send some of those to the National Weather Service out of Tulsa. So there's looking off to the southwest. We'll take it straight south and even southeast in order to see that thunderstorm. The hail has definitely dropped off on that one. And in fact, as we mentioned that, now not even a considerable severe thunderstorm warning anymore. But the reason we are on the air, and the reason that Josh and Davion and Leslie and I, we cut on with this storm and covered it, we were on our live stream, but now the storm has cranked back up and produced some pretty destructive hail. So if you got reports for us, pass them along. We'd love to know, do you have damage to your cars, damage to your roof, damage to your windows, perhaps? This is wind-driven hail too, so there could be some damage with these storms.
Yeah, I just want to point out real quick, we just got a message from the Tulsa National Weather Service that there are some cells that are starting to head towards the southern portions of LaFleur County. So River Valley, you guys are going to have to stay weather aware over the next few hours or so, as well as you are still underneath that tornado watch.
Yeah, here's a look at live Doppler radar, Josh. I've got it up for you so you can bring it up. But there's one of those cells, not severe, but remember, this is just in its infant stages as these storms have developed. And we saw it didn't take long for them to develop in the River Valley. And the ingredients are already in place. So you don't even have to worry about daytime heating. It's already warm and it's already humid. And that warm front will also add an additional extra spin to the storms, which is why that tornado watch is in effect until, as we mentioned, 7 o'clock in the evening. So there's the area that's going to be under the threat for tornadoes. I will say this too, northwest Arkansas, after these storms move out, we could get additional storms. If we do clear out and we warm up, that might allow for that warm front to lift north, but it's questionable at this time.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is why I think the National Weather Service went with that severe thunderstorm watch for Northwest Arkansas and then the tornado watch in the River Valley, just kind of to differentiate the environments that are currently in place right now. But want to quickly look here, just real quick, guys, because I know we're obviously focusing on those storms that are moving into Northwest Arkansas right now. Want to take a quick look here and see how things are evolving once again on Mega Doppler with those hail cores. So as you mentioned, Dan, that's that storm that was moving through Washington County just north of Elkins a few moments ago. Looks like the hail's dropped off quite a bit. What's that estimate right there for
That estimate would be 1.78.
Yep. So around golf ball sized hail, but again, it could be smaller by this point too, because it's dumping that hail shaft as well. But man, that ramped up very quickly there in in eastern Washington County. And then if we go back a little bit farther to the north, let's see what we've got going on with these other hail cores here. So it looks like much smaller now, northeast of War Eagle at this time. That's definitely downtrended. This was actually the first storm, guys, that caused problems this morning, because look at all these hail reports out west here. You got 2 inches, 3 inches, another 2.25 inch report, right? This was the problem storm about 30 minutes ago near Elm Springs, Cave Springs, and Lowell. We had a great view of that storm over our Springdale, Arkansas Children's Northwest camera. And Dan, I know you're going to be having a time lapse of that very soon as well.
Oh,
Josh, I
yeah.
want to
It's
get your
gonna be
attention
insane.
really quickly because we just got a message. Low-level meso has increased on that soon-to-be Madison County storm. So this would be the considerable that we're on air for. And it is trying to rotate. But again, these are elevated for now. But we'll have to keep a very close eye on all of these storms throughout the remainder of the day.
And also keep in mind, too, we are looking at the Tulsa radar. So we're a little far away from the storm right now.
I
this-
actually think
yeah,
is
this is
the,
Fort Smith.
Is it Fort Smith?
Yeah,
Okay.
that
Fort
is the
Smith.
Fort
Okay,
Smith
yeah.
radar.
So it's still kind of broad, I would say, in terms of rotation. But you're right. You got to watch for these cell interactions, right? Those cell interactions really are where those storms start to take off. In fact, I think that's exactly what's happened to our large hail potential this morning. You've got all these cells that are just kind of merging with each other and interacting with each other, and that can sometimes enhance, as you just mentioned, Davion, the low-level shear. But there's a look at the Huntsville Airport camera. This is a great view as well right here. And you can see the base of the storm off the distance. Very heavy rainfall. In fact, back over there, that kind of white shaded color that you see, that's probably where the hail core is bottled up.
And
at
the
this
hail
time.
core looks like it's uptrended once again. We have starting to see that Hennig 2 inches in diameter show up once again, just to the south of Crossroad, in between Crossroad and Wesley. Some of those communities out there, Madison, 775, 50th Street. So the hail core is certainly increasing in size once again.
Oh, yeah. Look at that right there. And you got looks like a county road maybe plotted right there, Davion. Appreciate that. That definitely has ramped up, like you just mentioned, once again, to that pink shaded color, which typically indicates that it's now, it's high-end hailstones up to hen egg size right there. It actually looks like there might be 2 hail cores right now. What's going on with this storm right here? Let's look at base reflectivity real quick here. Wonder what was going on there.
Another part of the updraft.
Another
It
part of
looks
the
like
updraft.
backside of the updraft. So
Yep.
continuing to back build, we'll probably see that become the dominant core just to the south of Goshen, which might increase that low level rotation as you get the rear flank downdraft. So I want to do a storm track on this. I know we're talking a lot about the science, and the reason we do that is so you can understand what kind of threats these storms will bring. But let's go ahead, Josh, and you can do this in front of the wall. We still have that considerable severe thunderstorm warning with tennis ball size hail now on the west side of Huntsville.
Quick update,
So,
Dan.
still going.
Not to cut you off,
Yeah.
but this is now a tornado possible tag on this severe thunderstorm warning.
Okay.
I'll pull that up right
and
here.
look at go ahead and check out our Huntsville airport camera again, Josh. I'm going to bring that up. But before we do, I do want to do a track on this. I promised we would do a track. It's moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. We'll finish that. Then we'll take a look at that camera. Yeah, there's the lowering, and that's got a little more ragged base to it as well. And that's something to watch. Now, I'm noticing a lot of motion from right to left, and that tells you it's still kind of outflow. But we'll have to watch and see if any type of circulation ramps up.
Well, this is exactly what we were just talking about a few moments ago, Dan. This is probably from the cell interactions that are going on right now.
Yeah.
Right. You've got those 2 updrafts that are going on, and they're probably interacting with each other in a favorable way for that low level meso to ramp up just a little bit more. So that is something to watch.
Wow,
very
look
closely.
look, you can really see the wall cloud. I'm going to zoom in on it.
Yes.
And we got this recording, but I'm going to zoom in on this, and you're going to see on the right-hand side, there's your really strong base. Look
Yeah.
at that.
That is
along
stout.
with a tail cloud. It's going to be, I'll point it out. It's right in this region right here. We're taking a look. Right here is your base. There's your tail cloud associated with a wall cloud. And this has a tornado possible now, severe thunderstorm, considerable severe thunderstorm warning. Let's take a look here. Okay, if we go to Max 1, I've got the track on this most dangerous portion of the storm. Huntsville, it is approaching your area at 11:30. This storm's going to be impacting you. Gobbler at 11:53, Delmar at 12:01, Carrollton at 12:05, and Alpena just a little after noon at 12:08. So there's some of the communities that are going to be impacted. Here's what I want to do. I want to adjust that track maybe a little bit more to the northeast, kind of follow the severe thunderstorm warning, and we'll give you that information as well with the warning for those storms. So some intense storms this late morning. There you get to see that tornado possible, 2.5-inch hail, as well as just a nasty storm. The winds are actually not as strong, but still 50 miles per hour is something to watch.
Yeah, we're starting to max out on base reflectivity, so that hail core may start to get a little bigger than 2 inches
that's coming
already.
right in the west side of Huntsville.
It says just south of Hartswell, heading right towards Huntsville, as Dan just said.
Bring
that
up,
camera back up.
if we can, Charles, let's bring up that 2 box, because this circulation, I'm still seeing right to left, but we'll have the Max 1 with the radar and the different warnings. I'm going to take the warnings off the screen. There's a lot of information, but that's because there's 2 significant storms to watch. And then at the same time, you've got that Huntsville Airport WeatherBug Network camera showing that lowering. Might be getting a little bit less organized as of the latest, but let me take a look here at this new strong severe thunderstorm warning. And there it is, just updated 11:20. There's radar indicated with large hail, 2.5-inch, as well as a tornado possible. A lot going on. Allegedly, we're getting a lot of hail photos. I know that.
Yes.
And we can show some of those as we go into our what we call a megaphone. Megaphone is a way that you can send in photos to us, videos. We can show them almost instantaneously after you send them in. We add them to a playlist and we're able to show. And so we can kind of give you an idea of what some of these hail cores can do. Now, that just doesn't look very tornadic to me, at least. I know it's tornado possible.
New considerable
and the low-level
severe
meso might
thunderstorm
be
warning.
increasing, but we have to remember we are north of the warm front. Unless that warm front has lifted north enough where we're starting to see some differences. But I'm looking at that WeatherBug Network camera, Josh, and you can point it out. I'm going to bring it up on, you're on Max 2.
I'm on Max 2, so let me pull it up here again. So I'm going to pull. So,
okay, so that's Max 1, actually. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring this up full screen real
Charles,
quick so
pull
you
me
can
up on
see.
Max 2, please.
So there you go. That's the lowering, but look, you can see it all moving from right to left. So that tells you it's moving from north to south, and that's all outflow.
Yep. And that typically doesn't mean a whole lot of tornado potential as well. But still, something to watch very closely. As we mentioned before, these cell interactions can sometimes enhance things very quickly, as we've seen with the severe thunderstorm warning getting upgraded to that tornado possible tag. But as you guys just mentioned, not looking as impressive anymore right now. And that's because it's just so displaced from the warm front. It's so far south right now. We don't have that surface-based instability, but man.
The lightning is impressive.
Yeah.
I just caught a positive CG, a very large cloud ground lightning strike. We're going to bring that up here in just a second. I'm going to actually bring this up with the hail core. So this is looking due west if we go to Max 2.
Yep.
And you're going to see Huntsville, hail core approaching. You can see it on the right-hand side of the screen. That is a WeatherBug Network camera from Huntsville Middle School, and that is going to get hit by the hailstorm. And you can see actually that whitish shoe on the right-hand side. There's more of those cloud to ground lightning strikes. Very intense storm, everyone in the weather lab, everybody that is in Madison County. This deserves severe weather coverage on television. These are some destructive hailstones that could do a lot of damage. Not only that, we do have a little bit of low-level rotation continuing to increase a little more.
Yep.
Oh, I just noticed this with this severe thunderstorm warning as well. Now you've got those 60 miles per hour gusts that are starting to pop up as well. So
increased it a little bit more.
Yep. So that's on that other side of that storm right there.
And this is heading pretty much right into Huntsville within the next few minutes.
Yeah.
Downtown Huntsville.
And what's wild is you're seeing there's the Huntsville airport. I'm going to bring up the Huntsville other camera on Max. So we're going to do the same thing. You don't have to change anything, Charles. I'll be doing it behind the scenes. But here's our Huntsville middle school camera. And look at that. You can see the base. You can see the hail core on the right-hand side, that milky white, and additional storms. Now, there are several severe thunderstorm warnings in Berry County in southwest Missouri. Josh is focused right now on the River Valley. These storms are not severe, but they are in an area where they could ramp up rather quickly and become pretty intense.
And they just dropped that severe thunderstorm warning for Carroll, Madison, and Washington counties.
Okay, so
that was that
storm,
first
that was that
other
that
storm
weekend.
that's taken over.
Yep.
So there's a more 2-inch hail observed.
Mhm.
There's just been hailstones all over the place. And this makes sense with the cold temperatures aloft. There's really cold air aloft, and so it's allowing that hail production to be very prolific this morning. And if we clear out, we could see additional storms this afternoon. It's something that we have to watch for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
You can
This
see
is
that-
definitely a lot earlier than what the model showed. That is for sure. I mean, the model showed some elevated thunderstorms moving through northwest Arkansas, no doubt, like around this time, around 11, 12 o'clock, but they didn't have things developing right around 9:30 like what we've seen this morning. And that does play a role in our environment, guys. If these can
Mhm.
move out a little bit quicker, as you just mentioned, Dan, maybe we don't see as much anvil seeding or clouds hanging around. We get a little bit of clearing. All it takes is just a little bit of clearing with an environment like this, with all this upper level support, to get a little bit more spin in the atmosphere,
Just
especially
to
in
let you
northwest
guys know,
Arkansas.
if you get onto the Huntsville Middle School camera right now, you're able to see the hail.
Yeah,
hailstones
we've
falling
actually
off.
got it pulled up
Yep.
Okay.
in a
Got it
2
in the box.
box.
Yeah.
Leslie, and a great point. But yeah, you can see that hail core. So obviously something dropped out.
Something dropped out,
Yeah,
Megadoppler.
something's wrong.
Uh-oh. There we go. That is an impressive looking supercell, though. That is for sure. Even though it's elevated. I mean, you can see where that large hail is setting up right now, right on top of Huntsville.
Yep.
You're
Yeah.
about to see it on that camera there, too, I'm sure. You're
I
about
was-
to see
I
a
was
bunch
going
of
to-
hail.
Yeah, I was going to make a point. We're getting a lot of reports in our team's chat from Doug that there's significant power outages and electrical issues going on with some of these storms that move through the Springdale area. We also have numerous power outages likely in our southwestern Missouri counties from that other stronger cell that moved out of our coverage area now, but just out of there, they're reporting significant power outages. So that's pretty concerning, given we're not necessarily done with the amount of storms that we're going to see later on today, especially for portions of our coverage area.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Now, one of the things, the reason why that hail core disappeared, it doesn't really disappear. It's just we don't have all the tilts in the volume coverage pattern on the radar yet. So wait till that starts to populate, then we'll be able to see the new hail core. One thing I can do, though, as we're watching that Huntsville camera, I don't want to lose sight of that, but I do want to take over real quick on Max 2, Josh,
Yep.
as we have that loaded up. Let's take a look at the hail tracks over the last
Okay.
2 hours. I think this would be something that would be very beneficial to look at as these storms popped up. So at 10 o'clock over the last hour, you can see that hail track that went through the south side of Siloam Springs. And then the other storm that developed the very first one was the one in southern sections of Delaware County. And then the other one, northern Adair County. Then those storms continue to ramp up. And then this is where the hail
Yeah.
core was really starting to intensify. And Josh, you were doing your coverage on the live stream.
Mhm.
And then the storm continued to move northeast. And then you see Lowell getting impacted. At the same time, watch what happens with this cell that's down to the south. At about 11 o'clock, the hail core on the south and east side of Fayetteville. And those are some pretty large hailstones. So if we go and look at the track and look at basically the size, you can see you're approaching 3-inch hail. And this was actually a little underdone, to be honest with you,
Absolutely.
because the hail core was even larger than that. So the hail track was lower than what was actually reported.
And we also saw confirmed reports, too, of that as well. Because
Yeah.
we had reports near Elm Springs and Cave Springs of 2 to 3 inch hailstones. So definitely a little bit underdone, even from the radar estimates, which tells me that maybe the hail reports we're about to see southeast of Fayetteville are also about to be very significant. Looks like there's one.
Let's see what we've got here.
Yep.
So 1.5. So that looked to be on the north side of the hail core, in my opinion.
Yep, I agree.
Here you've got 2.3. So that was about close to close to tennis ball size. There's 2 inches in Cave Springs, and then there's the
There's the
3-inch
3-inch.
report.
Wow.
That was next to a tape measure too on social media. And speaking of that, Leslie, I think we've got some of those the hailstones on on the stream, right?
Yes,
Let's go ahead and you can take us through those, okay?
Yes, I'm able to take you through those, but
Okay.
first I want to say someone just reported, a viewer in fact said baseball hail west of Huntsville.
Oh, wow.
So I'm
Well, it's
looking at
hailing right now
comments
on our
right
camera
now.
too.
Yeah, and I was
Someone-
gonna say our mega Doppler seems to be
Someone
acting a little weird.
Someone also said power outage in Huntsville.
That's what
but
I'm saying. The whole tilt hasn't happened
Yeah.
yet.
We'll continue to walk through some of these hail reports. This one was sent in at around 10:45 as of today. And if we continue to move forward, here's one from Stephanie from Elm Springs right next to $1 bill to show you the size of this hailstone. Pretty large, if you ask me, probably close to tennis ball size, of course. Then you also have another report from Katie coming from South Fayetteville, just by Huntsville Road. Thank you, everyone, for sending these reports. And of
You
course,
can bring that up full too, because we got to do some work behind the scenes.
So as they go ahead and take care of that, I'll show you some more hailstone reports. And as always, if you guys have any pictures that you have yet to send in, make sure to scan that QR code that's showing up on your screen on the top right corner. This is also another report from Debbie in Springdale showing this hailstone. Honestly, the size of it close to about 2.5 inches in diameter. And that's the best way. We ask that you guys take photos if you have it next to a quarter, or if you measure it with a ruler. That way we can get exact measurements. But if you guys don't have that available to you in your hand, is also just as fine. Here's one from Kristen with a quarter-sized quarter right next to a couple of hailstones as well. This is also coming from Lowell City, just southwest of Rogers. And then another report, actually, this is not a hail report, but if we look at it one more, I also have reports of trees and power lines down in
Wow.
Springdale as well.
Okay.
Thank you for that report.
Yep.
That shows me that maybe the winds ramped up too, maybe locally in that area as well.
Mhm.
And now it looks like, guys, at least in our weather coverage area, the only storm that's really concerning right now is this severe thunderstorm warning that still has the considerable tag attached to it. This goes until about 12:15 p.m. for 60 miles per hour winds, 2.5-inch hail, and it still has that tornado possible tag attached to it right now. And this is moving right through central Madison County, going to be approaching portions of maybe Newton County a little bit further down the road, also southern Carroll County included in that. But this right now is really the only storm that's of concern in our area, because that other storm that was in southwest Missouri, which now has a destructive tag attached to it, by the way, that has 2.75-inch hail. But that's now moving out of our weather coverage area. So our full attention is going to be on this cell right here, which, guys, I think you would agree with this, still kind of has that like classic supercell look. You kind of see maybe a little bit of a appendage kind of feature right there. But again, we just don't have the low level wind shear in place right now for this storm to take off when it comes to strong tornado potential.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We're sending some of our reporters out there to see the storms and the damage concerns in that area. I do want to bring your attention down to LaFleur County.
Yep.
Quite the thunderstorm that's going on down there right now. We're working behind the scenes on Mega. Yeah, so there you go.
Yep.
And below severe limits as of right now, but certainly going to see an uptick in activity in our River Valley portions here in the next couple of hours or so.
Yeah, and there's another storm too that I'm watching.
Lots
Need
of
to keep
lightning
an eye
with
on
these
that.
Hey,
storms.
Josh.
Yep, absolutely.
Check out Max 1,
Mhm.
Huntsville Middle School. You can see the hail actually large enough to chip off some of the paint
Oh, wow.
on the and that I've been seeing some of that go. I mean, that's not just obviously that's been a little weathered over time, but I have seen some of the hail chipping off some of the paint, and that is from the Huntsville area. So looks like some smaller hail now getting a little bit bigger, bouncing off of that Huntsville water tower that's right at the middle school, by the way. So this is right in the middle of kids' schools. So you're getting impacted with these storms. Good news is if you're watching the live stream, there's no tornadic potential with these cells. So that is good news.
Yeah, I was just going to say the largest of the hail course seems to be right over Highway 412 in between Huntsville and Harmony, right over Huntsville. In fact, as of right now, you can see that county road that's plotted. That's Bus Highway 412 heading over to the east as we continue to track this.
What's that radar estimate right there?
This radar estimate 2.23.
Yep, and right on top of Huntsville right now. So I'm sure, guys, we're about to get a whole lot of reports out of Huntsville, because that is moving right over the downtown area. That's going to be approaching Harmony as well, as well as Old Alabama. These are some more rural areas out here, but I've traveled through here quite a bit, very mountainous terrain as well. So that is something to watch very closely as it moves along Highway 412. I'll keep an eye on this as well. If you live near the Marble area, if the storm continues to take kind of an east-northeasterly track, that might be approaching your area very soon. So Marble, Alabama, Old Alabama, Kingston, I think we might agree that maybe the largest hail might move north of Kingston, but that is something to watch very closely right there when it comes to that storm. And then Davion, if you don't mind, let's just look at storm relative velocity just to make sure, right? We want to keep an eye on a tornado possible storm. So let's look at the storm relative velocity.
Might have to bring it up on your end.
Might have to bring it up. Okay, that's all good. I'll bring it up right now. So I'm going to bring it up, and here is a look at storm relative velocity. So of course we're looking at the Fort Smith radar. This is not going to be as precise as Mega Doppler, which is why we have that. It gives us a better look at these storms. But again, if there is rotation right now, it's not very strong. It's very broad. Still have a tornado possible tag, so we're not going to let our guard down on that. But here's the good news with the storm that I'm observing, guys. I don't see any other cell interactions going on right now, which is great because as long as it doesn't have any cells to interact with, it's mostly just going to be a hail producer as it continues to move off to the east at about 50 miles per hour right now. So again, this is moving right along Highway 412. The largest hail is moving right along Highway 412 at this time.
Yeah, Josh, I want to bring your attention to that River Valley storm that
Yep.
I was mentioning. This would be over in LaFleur County. It does look like it's starting to take that classic supercell shape. This is going to be just to the east of Mena, I should say, and it'll be moving over towards the Scott County area. Yep, and
Yeah.
that's a cell that if we go to, you'll see it a little better on reflectivity once that loads. But certainly looks like the cells down to our River Valley are going to start to uptrend over the next hour or so. There you see that
Ooh.
little appendage. Going to keep a
Little
close eye on
appendage.
that.
Yep. Got to keep an eye on that, right? Normally when you see that just kind of little appendage look, and can you go back just a little bit as well, Davion, so we can see kind of as it progresses. So yeah, right there. Notice how that's kind of starting to develop maybe a little bit more of a hook right there, just off to the north and west of Smithsville. That's moving through southern LaFleur County. So this is going to be, I know this area very well. This is going to be near the Big Cedar area right here, just off to the south of Heavener. Very similar location to what we saw last Saturday with some of those storms, guys, where we had those tornado warnings as well. Not tornadic right now, but certainly maybe tapping into some better low-level wind shear as it gets closer to that warm front. But that's a storm we got to watch very closely right there. I noticed you pulled up that hail corridor just a few moments ago. Not nearly as big as what we're seeing in northwest Arkansas, but that could certainly change very quickly. And there it is right there. It looks like that hail might be nickel-sized. A couple of hail cores right there with that storm. So we'll watch that very closely again as it approaches the Big Cedar area. Zoom in just a little bit more right there. I think that should
Hey,
populate.
Josh,
Uh-huh.
we have to reboot a computer because
Yeah.
it's not working. So,
Yeah, it seems to be slogging just a little bit.
well, and not only
Yes.
that, but it's not changing either.
Yes.
So,
Okay, appreciate that. So a lot of things going on behind the scenes right now when it comes to our technology. So just bear with us on that front. But again, we'll keep an eye on this storm while Dan's rebooting those computers behind the scene. And Davion, you just keep an eye on those reports as well.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Josh, I just want to let you know they're going to continue that severe thunderstorm warning that you see right now. Of course, you can see all the info. They're continuing that for Carroll and Madison County, and they're keeping the tornado possible tag on it as well.
Mm-hmm. Which makes sense, right? You just want to make sure, right? I think that's a good kind of precaution with this storm because it still has that little look to it, right?
Yep.
If I go back here to storm relative velocity again, you can kind of see it right there, some enhanced winds. Definitely have noticed that the winds have uptrended a little bit with the storm, Davion, as you mentioned just a few moments ago as well. We've got those 60 miles per hour winds now associated with the storms, which makes sense because it has that little appendage shape right there. Let's look here at the Huntsville airport camera. So look at that.
Wow.
Just completely shrouded in rain right now. Definitely some gusty winds maybe moving through there as well. We can go here to the Huntsville middle school camera. Woo, it is dumping rain, that is for sure. Looks like it stopped hailing though, which is good. That's fantastic to see. But obviously a pretty big time supercell right there that has moved through northwest Arkansas. And again, we're going to be watching these very closely. I'm going to take a reset here, and we're going to look at a wider view here of what we got going on. So there's that severe thunderstorm warning I just mentioned a moment ago. Reminder, we've got that severe thunderstorm watch that remains in effect for pretty much all of northwest Arkansas until 6 p.m., right? So we've always obviously had this first round of showers and storms that's moved to the area, maybe thinking, all right, there's nothing much to worry about now, but we could have additional development throughout the afternoon and early evening hours, not only in northwest Arkansas, but also in the River Valley. We're already starting to see storms ramp up over portions of the River Valley, LaFleur County, as Davion was just mentioning. And we do have that tornado watch that's in effect until 7 p.m. So we've still got about 5 to 7 hours to go when it comes to severe weather potential over a large part of northwest Arkansas and the River Valley, which makes sense. If you've been watching the shows over the last couple of days, we talked about that time frame. We talked about the potential for multiple rounds for showers and storms. So I know right now things are still pretty quiet once again along I-49, pretty quiet along Interstate 40, but that's going to change very, very soon as those cells continue to lift off to the north and east. And one thing I want to look at real quick here, we're going to reset, is the instability that's in place. And look at this. We've got a tremendous amount of instability or fuel that's available for these showers and storms that are moving into LaFleur County right now. And probably much better low-level wind shear as well, because you can clearly see where that warm front is draped right now. Notice where that boundary is between those yellows and reds and then those lighter blues and lighter green shaded colors. That's where that warm front is currently located. And as this cell approaches that warm front, we're going to have to watch for maybe some deviant motions where that low-level wind shear starts to increase. You get more backing of the winds, and that could produce your tornado potential right there. But again, this cell that's going on right now in LaFleur County is right along Highway 59, and there it is, right there, the Big Cedar area, about to get maybe some nickel-sized hail. That storm's still below severe limits. We're also watching this storm right here along Highway 271, as well as Highway 270, and then, of course, a severe thunderstorm warning with that considerable tag attached to it in far northwestern Arkansas.
Yeah, so things are getting active across the entire area. The hail potential greater than 2 inches for that cell that we're watching. It continues, they say, as it continues to track east. The potential for it continues as it heads towards Kingston.
Yes, and I really appreciate that report from Slack, and that's great right there, Davion, because they're watching that very closely as well. Look at this. We've got some additional development going on out west. Now, here's the deal about this development, right? Yes, it could probably produce more hail, maybe some gusty winds as well. But if these storms start to take off, guys, that would probably limit the severe weather potential in northwest Arkansas, in my opinion, because these storms are going to be moving over an environment that's already been worked through, right? We've already seen those showers and storms move through northwest Arkansas. It's not going to be enough time for the atmosphere to recover and that warm front to lift to the north. In order for that to happen, we need a little bit more clearing out west, because these storms are going to have a tendency to spread their anvils out. So in my opinion, at least right now, and things could change, of course, but I think these storms right here, as long as they continue to move off to the north and east and move through NWA once again, that could maybe limit the northern extent of the warm front, which coincides nicely with the severe thunderstorm watch and the tornado watch that's in effect.
Got another report for you. We are now at 4,725 outages in Washington County alone.
Wow. Okay, that's a really good report right there. I wonder if there's any way.
I was just going to let you know. Yeah, we can bring that up. We do have Mega Doppler back up, Josh.
Okay.
I got this report, Northwest Hospital in Springdale, and the power just went out. That was around close to 11 o'clock. So it was just a little under an hour ago that happened. So even power outages at the hospital in Springdale. It shows you the impacts of this storm. A lot of people are commenting. This storm has been, considerable, even destructive. Some of the storms in Southwest Missouri, but I still think 3 inches is destructive hail, and there will be damage associated with it. So once this storm does drop off a little bit more in intensity, we'll go back to just our live stream, and we'll get off of television, and then we'll wait for the next round of storms that comes into the River Valley. So speaking of that, there's a new strong severe thunderstorm warning. I'll click on that and we'll take a look here. And there's the very latest. And this is for obviously northern Newton County and southern Boone County. It's the same area, considerable 2.5-inch hail. Again, every single storm is producing large hail.
But no more tornado possible tag.
Nope, no more tornado possible. That's a great thing to mention on that.
Yes.
And our Gaither Mountain Weather Bug Network camera looking off to the southwest. Granted, we have the tower that we're looking at, but you'll probably be able to see that cell.
Let me pull that up.
New considerable severe thunderstorm warning.
Tag does expire. That's from the National Weather Service out of Tulsa. That expires at 12:15. And then you've got there's the other severe thunderstorm warning, as we mentioned, just got issued, considerable northern Newton and southern Boone County.
And I think our Gaither Mountain camera's down.
Is it?
Yes, unfortunately.
Having a hard time reconnecting.
Yeah. Probably lightning strike, honestly. There's been some cloud to ground lightning strikes. It's like, I think everything's going down like dominoes here.
Now look at this, guys. Look at this explosive thunderstorm development on high resolution water vapor.
That shows you. And look at the dry slot that's coming in too on the west. So that will fire up additional storms. So.
And we're already starting to see actually those additional storms that you're just talking about, Dan, develop in northeast Oklahoma, which is why, again, I think this atmosphere might start getting worked a little bit northwest Arkansas. Now in the River Valley, that's a bit of a different story. In fact, the nose of this little dry punch right here, that's where you can sometimes get enhanced tornado potential. So we got to watch that very closely right there along the Interstate 40 corridor. So this is what we talk about when we say we're looking out the window at these storms. We're looking at mesoanalysis. We're looking at water vapor. It appears right now, just based on what we're seeing here on water vapor, that these thunderstorms in northwest Arkansas will continue to impact the same areas as we go throughout the next several hours. Whereas in the River Valley, maybe there's more isolated development, maybe there's more breaks in the activity, and that could lead to maybe a greater chance for your tornado potential, which makes sense. That's what some of the models were hinting at this morning. Maybe they haven't done a best job with the timing, but at least they did hint at that. So that's what we're watching very closely.
I will give credit to where credit is due, Josh.
Yep.
The HRRR yesterday evening did show storms coming in around 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And then it took it out.
And it had the right solution.
Yep.
And then it's like,
And then it pump faked.
Classic pump fake.
Exactly. Like just keep the right solution. It over forecasts a little bit.
It's like when you're taking a test and you second guess yourself.
Exactly.
Never want to second guess yourself.
Exactly. But look at this satellite radar loop as well, guys. Look at all that thunderstorm development that we saw. Just snap your finger, boom, storms everywhere in northwest Arkansas.
And additional stuff popping up now northwest of Fort Smith. That will be making a run for northwest Arkansas as well.
Yep, absolutely. But look at this right here too as well. This is what we're also watching in the River Valley. As I was just mentioning, that dry punch, you can see that clearing that's going on southeast of Oklahoma City. As I mentioned before, we still have about 5 to 7 hours of severe weather potential across the entire weather coverage area. So once these storms move out of the River Valley, these additional cells, which right now I think are struggling just a little bit, maybe we get some clearing in the River Valley, and we'll have to watch that very closely with the second round that's expected to move through later on this afternoon into the early evening hours.
Yeah, Josh, I was just going to give you something pretty interesting. The 5-minute odds for our Fort Smith area already reading temperatures in the upper 70s. Nowhere near that in northwest Arkansas, obviously with the rain-cooled air, but the latest 5-minute odds continuous to read about 78 degrees in Fort Smith. So that just shows you that warm front is right over.
Whoa.
And I think you can actually perfectly show that, Davion, if you go to Weather One and show our current temperatures as well. You'll see it. Like you'll see the colors and stuff like that as well pop up, and you'll see
I'm
where.
gonna bring that up.
Yeah.
We do have to fix the monitor, so we'll after we bring this up, Davion, you have to pick all that stuff up here real quick. Got to love how technology is going to go out right in the middle of coverage.
Well,
that happens.
Yes, absolutely.
So there's northwest Arkansas, as you can see, upper to middle 60s, even lower 60s, but working our way south. Look at that, 78.
You think you could spot the warm front, guys?
I'm very concerned about the River Valley this afternoon.
Yeah.
Late morning into the afternoon, honestly. And that's why that tornado watch has been issued.
That's a very well-defined warm front right there. Very well-defined. And another thing, too, I'm sure, I haven't had time to look at any soundings recently. I'm sure that moisture is a lot deeper at this point, too, in the River Valley. This morning was kind of shallow because that front was draped right along Scott and LaFleur County. Now that that's lifted a little bit farther to the north, that rich Gulf moisture is being allowed to pool back into the River Valley, which is why those temperatures are warming up so quickly, despite quite a bit of cloud coverage at many locations. I actually want to take a quick
Josh,
look.
I'm bringing something up here.
Yep.
Look at this cell.
Wow.
Kingston.
Oh, my goodness.
Laura Walden, heads up. Laura Walden is one of our very loyal viewers in the Kingston area. She's always on the live stream. She's always sending pictures and video. You need to be watching out for this storm, and you need to be getting your vehicle in a protected area. That is a massive hail core.
Absolutely, and that's why we're on right now, because hail core of this magnitude can cause significant damage, not only to property, but also to life. So you don't want to be caught out in these storms right now. If you're outside working or you're trying to go outside, don't do it right now if you live near the Kingston area. That is a significant supercell.
You can see that latest scan. It keeps it going. This will be right over State Highway 21, right through Kingston.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And now, is this storm still moving, you guys think, to the east right now? Let's see the latest.
East, northeast.
Yep.
East,
Yeah,
northeast.
we'll go ahead and we'll do a track on it.
Looks like at about 40 miles per hour. Yep. So still 2.5-inch hail being reported. That's on the upper echelon of considerable. Remember, a destructive severe thunderstorm warning is issued for 2.75-inch hail. So we're only about a quarter of an inch away from that.
Core. Look at the reflectivity. You're almost at the top of the scale.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, guys, if this maybe got a destructive tag soon as well. We'll have to watch that.
Going to do a 4D scan so you can see.
There it is.
It's like it's starting to suspend.
Hail core is aloft right now. So it hasn't even come down yet, and it continues to form. And
And it's
that's
gonna
up
get
to
bigger.
about 25,000 feet up
It's-
in the air.
As long as it stays aloft, it'll get bigger too. That's
Yeah,
trouble.
so that's pretty concerning. We're
Yes.
still
Someone
still-
in the newsroom has to launch the 479 first streaming. I mean, we went long as we could. So please, if there's anybody in web in the
I
newsroom.
think we are
Yeah.
streaming. It's a matter of if we continue it
Oh, yeah.
after 12 p.m.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, we'll continue it
I mean, we're gonna be on live on Facebook and X
As
for
long-
sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
as long as the stream takes, honestly. So we'll just have to monitor it. And that's, right now we're going to continue to live stream and be on television for this type of storm, as a new severe thunderstorm warning just got issued too. So we're continuing to see considerable severe thunderstorm warning. And this, by the way, is now with the same storm in southwestern sections of Carroll and Madison County. So they've issued this, and they continue this severe thunderstorm warning tag. That's kind of a
Considerable
newer,
severe
smaller
thunderstorm warning.
thunderstorm warning, because it covers that southeastern portion of Carroll County, which is the Weather Service jurisdiction. But yes, for 479 first, we will stream as long as we're streaming on severe weather coverage.
Yeah, absolutely. And the reason why we're on air right now, again, is because we have a destructive storm that's still moving through portions of our weather coverage.
It might have already moved through Fayetteville, and we know that, and there's nothing really going on right now in the Fayetteville area. But for our viewers to the east, as it continues to track into eastern Madison County, large destructive hail, just like what we've seen basically all day. And you can see this activity popping up across southern Benton County, northern and northwestern Washington County, and there's all of the hail reports.
Wow.
And even continuing into Bella Vista and Cassville. And so that's what the majority of this activity is large hail.
Absolutely. And again, that shows you that the environment in Northwest Arkansas was more supportive of that large hail potential, which is what we've been mentioning over the last 24 hours or so, just looking at some of the latest details. But, when you see a system like this, guys, it's not uncommon with some of our most significant severe weather days to see a morning round of very large hail producing storms, which eventually leads to more significant severe weather potential for areas farther south as we go throughout the rest of the day, because it's a telltale sign that we have the upper level support in place over the area.
Yeah, Josh,
so-
I was just going to mention how you showed water vapor imagery, and you showed on the nose of that, you could start to get some new
Yes.
development. We got messages from the National Weather Service that Southwest Arkansas is about to have a lot more convection in the next 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, it's right on the nose of that dry punch. And I showed that on water vapor a few moments ago. Again, that's typically where your highest tornado potential is going to reside if the environment remains in place, which unfortunately for the River Valley, I expect that to be the case along and south of Interstate 40. Now, I'm interested to see how these storms interact with the warm front. These are the initial thunderstorms that are moving through the River Valley. They may not have the highest tornado potential just looking at them right now, but there will be additional development on the backside of the system, and I'm interested to see what these storms do to modify the environment. Yesterday, in and around the St. Louis area, there were several storms that happened in the morning. That left behind some outflow boundaries, which interacted with the warm front and led to a little bit more rotation near St. Louis, which prompted quite a few tornado warnings. So something interesting to watch as we go throughout the rest of the day today along and south of Interstate 40.
We're also getting reports in from our team that there's damage in Shiloh and Maple in Springdale, and it's an image of a tree that's down. And it's down in someone's yard. Looks like it missed the house. I'm not 100% sure based on the image and the angle, but that just shows you the winds did ramp up with some of these cells as well as not just the hailstones that's concerning. So these are some strong thunderstorms that will continue to fire off. And look at the new convection that's starting to form out just to the west of Adair and Delaware County.
Yep.
We are not done.
Yeah, this is going to modify the environment once again for Northwest Arkansas. That's for sure. And I think this is going to limit the northern extent of that warm front. I wonder how these storms are also going to respond to the cooler air that's in place right now too. But I mean, when you've got upper level support, it really doesn't matter sometimes too.
That's all going to be a question. Josh, you got Max 1 up there. I'm going to do this real fast. I'm going to bring up. This is a time lapse of what happened earlier, and let me go ahead and speed this up. This is the cell that came through the Springdale area, and right on the right side of the screen, this is from earlier at just about 10:30 in the morning. You can see on the right side the hail core, and then at the same time, you start to see the lower cloud base. You can see the inflow tail that's coming in. So this is why this is a significant storm. This is all recorded from earlier, but look at that. That's that lowering that moved right overhead, most likely even a shelf cloud. And then you can see as we turn that way eastward, the hail core already fell at this point, and then that's just some heavy rain. A little bit of weak rotation. You can see it along the leading edge as that storm moves through. Very impressive, though, looking at that.
Incredible
and then
time
there's the
lapse.
power outage that happened, by the way, too. So you were able to see that on top of that. Okay, back to the radar here. And I think this storm is beginning to move out of our weather coverage area in Newton County. We're going to continue our live stream for those that are watching in Newton County, but we will actually drop off our television coverage, and we are going to be prepared to do more weather coverage as additional storms will start to move in. So for all of us, your Weather Authority team, we're returning you back to your regularly scheduled programming, but we are streaming on 479 First. We're streaming on X, YouTube, Facebook, and knwa.com. So keep it here with your Weather Authority for the latest.
Activity max out once again.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We're going to do it on Newton County. So,
Yes. Oh, yeah.
and they issued a new moderate risk too. I see that. So, wow, a lot
go.
of technical issues behind the scenes, man. A lot of stuff going wrong. But that's all right. We're covering these storms the best of our ability, the best the cameras can do. So, Newton County, be ready. It's a strong storm. Let's take a look here at that risk. Day one, moderate down in Dallas, so it's not even close to us.
I bet that's hail driven.
It totally is.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a look at the moderate risk, and then there's the hail that's associated with it. So a hail-driven moderate risk. Look at all the hail over Northwest Arkansas. My goodness.
Wow. Maybe we should have the mod. You know?
Now we also have, if you notice, we still have that tornado potential over us if the warm front lifts northward, and that is a big if. There's no mesoscale. Oh, there is a
No,
mesoscale
mesoscale
discussion. Yeah, how old is that? Also, too, something happened with the live stream in the middle, or lightning
Glitched
knocked
out.
it out. Yeah, knocked it out.
That one.
Okay,
Probably just about to go away.
so they issued
there
that
it is.
one. Yeah.
Large hail will be the main threat with the damaging wind potential later this afternoon.
Yeah.
What's interesting though, look at the probable peak intensity. Still 100 to 125 miles per hour with the tornadoes
In that area.
in that area.
That doesn't make sense.
I know. Doesn't even. It's not even mentioned in the blip.
Yeah,
But yeah, I had those pulled up.
I saw that on the live stream. This year. So this is the mesoscale discussion that was out earlier. Goes until noon. So it's just basically about until noon, and then it stops. But there's the storms that popped up. Man, Josh, those intensified fast.
They did. I mean, and
Hello,
You
upper
know,
level support.
hello, upper level support. It's been a while.
What a difference.
Yes, it's been a while. Almost forgot what happens when you have that overhead. But man,
Look at that. Goshen had the large hail. You had nearly
3-inch.
golf ball. That was on the east side of Fayetteville. I wonder what my neighbor got. My former neighbor. Call him and see what he got. Some people are like, well, that got my attention.
yeah,
Oh man.
that'll wake you up if you're not already.
Yeah.
I'm going to go get a snack. I skipped breakfast.
Little snack action.
I'm going to knock
All
out
right.
some forecast stuff while change.
Well, yeah, it's a little bit of a break. That's a good idea. Yes.
So are we expecting more storms this afternoon? I do believe so.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We already looked at that water vapor image.
We just looked at the updated SPC outlook. You must have just jumped on. So the SPC outlook, just to let you know, on Max, yeah, you can do it on Max 1. There's a look at the updated SPC outlook. There is a moderate risk, but it's in Dallas. It's not for our area. That's the day 2 tour. Whoops. Hopefully, yeah, just
No,
disappear.
yeah, exactly.
That
Okay.
would be amazing.
That's perfect.
Just have it all go away.
But it's still there in Northwest Arkansas, as you mentioned, Dan. So we'll just have to watch the warm front very closely. I personally have some
Doubts.
doubts.
Big time doubts
Yes,
too.
but look at the hail. I mean, the hail is already verified, but it's maximized near Dallas. And then here's our wind potential, which still is highest along and south of Interstate 40. Look at all those reports. Wow.
So now the question is, and people are wondering, are we going to get any more? And by the way, thanks to this thing not working. So here's what I'm gonna have to do. We're gonna have to end this live stream after this storm dies, which it looks like it kind of is.
Yeah.
Well, not
No,
necessarily.
no, it's,
Gaither Mountain went down. Waldron went down. Our Weatherbug Network camera in Waldron went down.
of
Yeah,
course.
like basically everything.
No, can do it twice.
I'm tapping out.
Yeah, we're done.
Just like I'm done. Just like when you got them in an arm bar and it's MMA.
Yes. Yes.
Tapping out.
Nope.
Tapping out.
We're done. We're done. You win. You win. You get the gold.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whether you win, you beat me up
Yes.
thoroughly and extensionally,
Mentally and physically.
existentially.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that even a word?
Yeah.
Existentially.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work in the context, and I'm using it. But anyways, here's a look at Mega Doppler. Yeah, we're tapping out, man.
Still showing very large hail. That is for sure.
She just said southern warning in Madison County for tennis ball hail potential. The worst of this will miss.
So Newton County is on our extreme eastern weather coverage area. Yes, we do cover it live stream. We don't necessarily cover it on television.
Right.
It's a little bit more rural. Not only that, they can't even pick us up in Newton County on satellite
Yeah.
or on cable. On
Yeah.
antenna, occasionally. But we just built up enough viewership through social media that I added them on there. But technically, Newton County is really not in our weather coverage area.
It's kind of
So,
in between.
yeah.
Yes.
Let's take a look at the warm front. I know a lot of people are asking where the warm front is. And warm front is definitely located in the river valley. Now you can also look at the dew points too.
Yes. I'll
These
pull
are
it
the
up over here.
forecasted dew points. Granted, it's a model, so take it with a grain of salt. You can bring up, you got that one. But here's a look at the forecasted dew points. So,
Huh?
that's the graph.
Well, that's because it has all the storms pushing out so quickly.
yeah,
Yeah, typical graph.
which it did.
Wow, but this clearly shows you where the warm front is right now.
Yeah. Okay,
That's pretty.
bring that up.
That's pretty obvious, I would say.
There's your warm front.
But notice how it's just like, so you got a little bit of moisture that's trying to nose in here, but then it kind of drops off very quickly. That's because it's encountering all those clouds and all that rain, so it can't push any farther north right now. And
Yeah.
hopefully that continues.
And all the storms.
Yep. So there's the temperatures too. Wow, that pretty obvious as well, I would say.
Yeah.
Still cooler than yesterday, though. Man, yesterday felt like a summer day. Yeah.
Hot and humid, muggy.
Yes.
I walked 2 miles yesterday. I was sweating before I got downstairs from my apartment.
A little bit of air that you can wear, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
air that you can wear.
Yes. Yes. Sweat mode activated.
Right.
Yeah, on that training program there.
Computers are dying, cameras are dying.
Everything's just going down.
Everything's just going down.
Bannerman is struggling too.
Is it not doing it anymore?
It's doing it now.
Yeah, I had to reload the whole program.
Yeah.
I had to reboot the computer, which took 27 minutes.
Yeah. It's like, of course.
We're getting a new computer. Oh, here we go. I sent Hale photos from Marble. Let me show you. By the way, you can see the QR code on the right hand side. That's to download the app, and then to send in photos, you can get that QR code.
It's on 102.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's Dean from Wallace.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll just go through a bunch.
Mhm.
That-
I love
those
it when-
are those are dimes.
Mhm.
Yeah, look at that. There's hen egg for
Yes.
you. A little smaller than hen egg.
I
Those
love when
are
people
bigger
put
than hen
visuals.
egg. Yeah.
Yes, thanks. Yep. Yeah, I'm sure it
Yeah.
did because it was destructive.
Yeah, the Springdale
Yeah.
slack is going insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that had the destructive tag attached to
I
it.
mean, they had baseball sized hail according to the office.
They say lots of power outages, lightning struck a pole.
Look at that for comparison, a little Cheerio, if you will.
A little Cheerio.
Size. I love
Cheerio.
size comparison.
we got the UK
Well, we're
folks
getting
in
a
the
lot of
United
hail
States right now.
photos.
Cheerio. Yes.
Those are big.
Wow, that is.
That's a big
That looked like
one.
tennis ball sized. That one before.
Yeah, that one was big.
Wow. And again, this is kind of, that's about quarter. This is pretty typical, I feel like, with some of our bigger events here in Northwest Arkansas in the River Valley.
Sun back out in Green Forest makes me really worried for the next round.
So let's see some cameras.
It
outside.
might be out because of the subsidence around the thunderstorm.
Mhm.
So let's look here real quick. There you go. We get to see. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's right
just a
there.
little bit of clearing on the Anvil portion of the storm. So you got subsidence around the Anvil. And that's why it's clearing, and
Man.
that's going to cloud back up here pretty soon. We're also getting some clouds from this Anvil as well. Look at the other thunderstorms that are starting to fire up.
Cumulus field developing as well right there. Right to the southwest of McAllister.
Oh yeah.
That's going to be where your potentially more significant supercells will develop.
Yep. Sorry, the live stream's not working on my Facebook page either, or Weather Authority. So something happened there. So I'll tell you what, we're going to can't drop off the stream because we still have this storm. But as soon as this storm dies, we're going to drop off the stream. We're going to launch a new one as the storms start to ramp up again.
Just go away, storm.
I know.
Go away. Be gone.
Sure, be nice to be able to see it in Harrison. So
Yep.
I got to make a call here real quick. I'm gonna pass the microphone off real fast.
Leslie.
Yeah, Leslie, you can take over here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh yes, of course. I mean, yeah. We got about 5 to 7 hours to go with this. But
Look at this convection going up now too.
here, I'm going to pull this up on weather.
So I think we've got to be in the mesosector 1, right? Nope, we're not. Mesosector 2. Yeah, we're in mesosector 2. So check this out. I added something today or yesterday. VisSat mesosector
Oh, the
2
IR.
with the IR. Yeah.
Wonderful.
So the sandwich.
Yes.
So you can see when those cloud tops are really going nuts. And look, you can remember yesterday those piddly storms.
Mm-hmm.
Now look at these. Look at that. You can see the enhanced V clear as day there. Wow, that is a really good one.
Robust convection.
Warming right there on the
Mhm.
east side of the overshooting top. Several times. Those would have been tornadic. If we had the low level wind shear and we had the low level instability, we would have had tornadic storms. That would have been a tornado coming through Springdale, man.
Oh,
That would have been
worst
bad
case
news.
scenario. Yes.
But thankfully, the cold front moved south
Mm-hmm.
from last night. There are so many. I mean, this is an important thing to note, but there are so many ingredients that have to come together in order to produce tornadic activity. And when people ask, 2 days, 3 days out in advance about what about specific cities, you can't do it.
No, absolutely not.
Because look at how fine scale the details have to be. Like, yeah, these were intense storms, but the front came through last night pushed way down to the south and kept us in a elevated storm environment
Mhm.
throughout the day today.
Mhm.
Now, does that change later on tonight? Possible. But hey, just a heads up, Ponca, you are getting a large hail core right now.
Oh, big time right there. It is incredible though how like you always mention, man, it's the little things that make the big things happen. And there are so many little things that are involved with severe weather. It's kind of like winter weather obviously happens slower, but there's also a lot of little things that happen with winter storms
Yep.
that make the big things happen. It's no different with severe weather. But the reason why I like forecasting severe weather more is because it happens faster.
I know, Kristen.
Yes.
It's frustrating. I don't know why. I can't do it. So that's why we got to reset. We got to relaunch everything, reboot everything. Just try to make sure everything works.
Frustrating.
Yeah, it is.
It's
But we can't drop off of this until this storm is out of our coverage area. Because now, you know what? I'm gonna call someone. I'm gonna call Les Murphy.
And Leslie, we're still keeping an eye on those cells as well in the River Valley, too. Leslie's zooming in there. Kind of looks a little messy,
I'd have to agree.
which is fantastic. Not seeing any interaction with the warm front quite yet. However, these storms can certainly modify the environment a little bit that makes things more favorable for tornadic supercells, especially if they clear out quickly.
I don't know if we're gonna be able to do a reset.
Well,
We
it's-
got to. I'll tell you what.
Yeah,
We can't wait.
yeah.
We can't wait. So let's do this on Max 1. Let's do a storm track on this cell.
On the one that's in
Yes.
Northeast.
We'll tell people where it's headed, and then we'll
storm
shut
speed.
down the stream, and then we'll launch another
Speed
one
of the
here,
storm.
to make sure everything's working again.
It's like 40 miles per hour. Okay.
I know. I'm so tired of severe weather too. It's not even like, but we knew, hey, storm fatigue, man.
It's
3 or
real.
4 days and no storms, and now what?
New severe thunderstorm warning, tornado
That's what I'm saying,
possible.
but we can't. It's obviously going to be for this storm.
Yeah.
There's only one. No.
No, it's the one that's in the far southern portions of our weather coverage area.
Yeah. In southern Scott County. Can bring that up right
course.
here. Hello? I was getting ready to call you, Les. Large hail is coming your way, man. So I hope you have your car parked in a covered parking.
Max 1's crashing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Max 1
I-
crashed.
For
Next one
for that,
crashed.
no, you're elevated. Storm's elevated. Yep, storm's elevated. Rotation is not there. However, there is a cell that's in Scott County that's a lot stronger. So, hey, here's the deal, guys. No, you're fine. Your comment wasn't
New severe thunderstorm
super
warning.
glitch, man. Super glitchville.
My thing just crashed too. So.
Yeah, we lost the Max computer. We lost a bunch of stuff. So, hey, Les, I've got to run, but I'm just wanting to let you know that it's about to hail where you're at, and the hail's pretty sizable. Yeah, no tornado threat. No tornado threat. Rather stay in and protect. Do not try to get out and get into a safe place. Nope. I do see a little bit of rotation, but all the rotation has been, short lived, and so I think you're okay. Well, there are rotations, but a lot of times these become outflow dominant really fast. And visually, what we've seen, the warm front isn't in place for that, and there's no 0 to 3 kilometer cape as well in northern Newton County. So there's definitely a mezzo, and there's rotation on the mezzo, but that's all you're seeing is the levels of the storm. So yeah, I'm not seeing low level rotation. Yep. Just wait. It's getting in there. Huh. Yeah,
Well, it's being drawn to the greater instability.
yeah.
Because
It's going to come right over Jasper.
Mhm.
In fact, I'll tell you how far away the hail core is. Go ahead and bring up Max 2 if you can here real fast. You can probably see it. And so in Jasper, Les, we're going to do a measurement here. Hail core is about 5 miles away from you right now. The heaviest part. Yeah, you're getting smaller hail right now, but it will get bigger as you get closer to the updraft. And not only that, the hail looks like it's suspending itself in the atmosphere. So this storm is building right now. If you're watching the live stream, check this out. There's the hail core that's aloft, and it's building up to close to baseballs. Wow. Yeah. So, and those most likely will probably come down in Jasper or a little east of Jasper, but it's going to be very close to you. So, but the tornadic activity, and we can go back to Mega Doppler regular real quick. Yeah, close out of that 4D
Yep.
window. Let's look at the circulation real quick, and I don't think there is any.
Wait, hold on. Accidentally open that up.
Yeah, we'll get it.
nothing.
That front.
Some convergence aloft, and that's it. Yep. No, okay.
It'll get bigger.
It's getting bigger.
Uh-huh.
I'll keep you on the line here.
Live report.
Yep. Live report from Les Murphy in the Jasper area, and Les, you're in charge of the school buses, correct?
New severe thunderstorm warning.
Okay.
You can be a little more backed. It's backed more.
Just to let you know, Little Rock, they're going to be upgrading this to a destructive tag because of baseball-sized hail.
Okay, there you go. Baseball size hail destructive tag is coming for this, and baseball size hail is coming into Jasper right now. That's going to destroy a lot of vehicles. Tornado threat is not on the table. Large to very large destructive hail is.
Exactly.
You know,
Yes, I guess when they
It's
say
just
get
back
a
here.
safe, like what they were concerned about, but it means that the vehicles get inside. there.
Yeah, like when you say safe place, we're talking
there's the
about
destructive
yeah.
tag.
There's the destructive tag. We're going to bring it up for you, and you're going to get to see all that information here. So here's the path of the storm. In the meantime, while Josh is doing that, I'll bring up the information on the destructive. 3-inch hail. 3-inch hail. So that's
Wow.
teacup size.
Wow. Gorilla hail.
That, and by the way, that's going to
Officially.
send your WEA alerts too. Your phones are going to go off for that.
Yes, yeah, they did.
Okay.
Yeah, as you were saying that, emergency alert. It airs, you know, it got up a little, it had a little sunshine. This
I bet you got a little green sky out there. Can you see?
It's got to be green.
It's got to be a green thunderstorm like you would not
Mm.
believe right now.
Yeah, it is.
Greenage.
Yeah. Here it comes.
It's hitting right now. I hear it on the roof.
Nope.
Can I send you a link and you can do a live report?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, stand by. I'll send you the link. This wasn't working for me though, so maybe let's see if it works.
Literally everything. It's just
Nothing working. Let's make sure that this, because it didn't work for me and I was kind of, okay.
it looks like it's working.
Okay, I'm gonna send you this link here, Les. And then you just join the stream, okay?
Okay.
All right, bye.
Yeah. Normally with the most intense storms like that, as Davion was saying in the background, greenage.
Yeah,
You get
greenage.
when you get that gorilla hail, man, you'll start seeing those teal and green colors instead of that whitish hue. Man, that little supercell is just cranking up, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's incredible. Now I'm just gonna. do
Okay,
this real
so we're
quick.
gonna get a live report from Jasper as the hail's coming down. Dark here in Fort Smith. We're watching those storms. They're not severe at the moment.
Yeah, the ones at Fort Smith are pretty tranquil right now.
Little Rock says the storms in northern Arkansas remain elevated, rotation visible on radar in mid-level areas. Storm moving into western Arkansas will have a better chance at being surface-based. So those storms pretty much towards Mena right now, they're saying that tornado potential could be increasing with those storms.
In the River Valley?
Yep.
Yeah.
Towards like Scott County.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here we go. Here comes Les.
Okay.
There he is. All right, Les, we're gonna bring you on here. Okay, Les, we got you. You can, by the way, you can turn your phone sideways. Yep, there you go.
All right,
Oh,
it's,
I saw one.
Yeah.
it's gonna be hard to hear you.
It's amazing how you can see that there's not a whole lot of rain. It's basically all hail that's falling. Yeah, watch out.
Yeah, watch out.
Don't get hit by them.
Yes.
What would you say the size of them are so far?
There's some right out here in the that's mixed. You know how they're deformed in size.
Yeah.
Golf ball. That was
Ooh, okay.
a bit of a golf ball size that hit that car.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mortar
that-
time.
We're gonna mute you. We're gonna mute our mic so we can hear yours.
Okay. Starting to get a little bit, getting bigger. Yeah, golf ball size.
I hope you have your hard hat, Les, because if you're out there, that one of those could hit you in the head. Be careful.
I'm under the canopy here. At the school.
Okay, good deal. New severe thunderstorm warning out west too, Delaware County. So more storms popping up, more active weather. Look at this, another cell to the southwest. Is that going to rotate? Yeah, we're going to have. Wow, that other one is rotating already.
It's unbelievable how they're doing it.
New
So
severe
so
thunderstorm
little
warning.
instability.
Yeah.
The upper level support's just insane.
Look at that. Yeah, bigger hailstones. Now, are you right in the heart of Jasper? Les,
Yes, go ahead.
are you right in the heart of Jasper?
Yes, I am. So
So
the
you're at the Jasper. Tell me exactly where you're at.
I'm at the school. If you can find it on
Okay.
the.
It appears that the largest hail core is actually on the north side of Jasper. So it's just barely north of downtown Jasper.
Right. Okay. We it has stopped for the moment. It's probably almost about an inch and a half.
Still pretty good size.
For a pretty good
Yeah, I
size.
noticed you're at the school.
Yes. I'm out here at the parking lot. It has quit at the moment. That may be one of the bigger ones right here. It was getting almost in eggs there for a
There's this
second.
one near Mena here showing less
Gotta get out
rotation.
of the line. Gotta get out of the line.
Whoa!
Oh,
Don't take long for that.
I didn't like the sound of that.
No, not when you're out there gathering eggs.
That was a flash and a bang at the
Yeah.
same time.
Flashbang.
Yeah.
That's what we call a flang. You got to be careful, man.
Yes, it's always that way when you go outside. You think it's
I know.
over.
That's how it works. It doesn't do it until you actually step foot out there.
Yes, or get on the porch or something, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's the biggest we've got right there.
Pretty
Okay.
decent sized.
Well, we appreciate it. In the meantime, we're taking a look at Mega Doppler while we're watching. So this is Les Murphy. He's at the school in
he's here.
in Jasper in Newton County. So he is located basically at that cell. We'll take a look at the hail core, and I do believe that the largest of it
Okay.
kind of right over Jasper. So it wasn't quite baseballs, but it might have been on the north side of Jasper.
Yes, there's some more starting to fall.
Oh.
I don't know what's left to come, but I hadn't looked at the radar. But
It's basically, I've got it right here. This is the latest image. It's kind of right on top of you. All right. So
This
here's
is-
the deal. We got a lot of other comments about other storms.
okay, all right.
We're gonna have to let you go. Thank you so much, though, Les, for the live report
Yes.
from the again. That's from the Newton County area in Jasper. This is the reason that we cover Jasper. So we appreciate it, Les. Thanks so much, man, for
Appreciate
doing
you
that.
guys. Thanks for the heads up.
All right, take care.
Sure.
Bye.
Okay, so here's what we got to do.
Yep.
Tornado possible tag on Scott County, southern Scott County.
That area rotations. Yeah.
It's not good.
That
So-
one, I will say, Little Rock says the storm near Mina is showing less rotation and more of a wind signature in the
Yeah.
last few scans.
Yeah,
All right,
that's
here's what we got
perfect.
to do. We got to shut this down.
Yep.
Gotta shut this down. We got to reboot the computer. We got to
Mhm.
get back online and get ready because we don't want to be limping into the finish line. So, before we do that, we're just going to take a quick look at everything on Mega Doppler, and we've got some thunderstorms that are not severe. We've already looked at that one a bunch. So let's go farther west. There's additional storms that are popping up. That looks like that warning has it been dropped.
It's
off?
already been
Oh, wait,
dropped.
no, go to the most recent.
Oh wait,
image.
what?
Okay. And if you can, also go back to the other storm now too in Jasper.
Mhm.
Because now that it's farther east. Yeah, so the hail core is east.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go back to just the River Valley. So they got a warning for Van Buren, hail approaching, but I don't think it's probably some small hail. We do have our Kisser FM camera, right?
We should have that up.
Yes.
Yes.
There we go. That's looking west. You can actually see that
Okay.
cell. That's not severe. Going back to Mega Doppler again.
Mm-hmm.
Other storms, not severe,
It's
but
kind of clustered.
developing. So we're watching clusters. Now this could prevent additional storms from really taking off. I really hope so. We were talking about it before. Too much energy moving in. But we've got to shut everything down and we got to reload it. I'm sorry. I know it's a pain, but it's got to be done. So anyways, thanks for watching here. We'll be back as we're covering more storms rolling in. It might be a little bit of a delay because there's not a whole lot of stuff happening right now.
Mhm.
That storm's moving out of Newton County, but we'll continue to keep you updated. Keep it here with your weather authority.